everyone, welcome back to another collector's discussion. Today we have even more updates with the InArt Batman. This is pretty revolutionary, I would say, because I don't think we've ever gotten like this much stack on stack on stack updates, and it's good to see. It's nice to see Queen Studios are doing this for such a new thing for them, because in the statue community, they've known to be doing this, giving updates here and there, and because the statues were too big for me to buy, I thought they wouldn't really do this with their 1/6 scale figures, but they're proving me wrong, and they're proving a lot of people wrong so far, especially the people that thought that you can't bend these figures and move them at all. I think you were probably a little bit foolish to think that you couldn't move this figure in the slightest. But overall, I saw the one picture that they advertised, basically the front picture, the thumbnail or whatever, on their post, and it looks pretty promising. I haven't seen the rest, but we're going to get into them now. So if you guys do enjoy this, make sure you like and sub. I'll pull the pictures up now and we'll get right into it. So we've got the photos here, and obviously, I think this was one of the photos that the video I done yesterday, which was the kind of red and black lighting where they had it spinning on the turntable. It looks like that pose in this, but even something like this, like a lot of people were saying, I don't know if they were making fun or just being sarcastic, where they're like, oh, it's just going to be a statue pose, like stiff shoulders and all that, but obviously not. And I think the more and more Queen is showing this figure, the more I'm siding onto them right now. I was going to be fair with Hot Toys and say, look, let's wait until we get both figures in hand, and I'm still going to do this. I'm still going to get both, but as of now, with these prototypes, I think Queen have killed it. When it comes to their Heath Ledger Joker, their Pennywise, and now this. Gandalf was cool, but I'm not a massive Lord of the Rings fan. Not to start getting deep into the collecting line for it anyway. But the three that I just mentioned, this, Pennywise, and Heath Ledger Joker they've knocked it out of the park with the prototypes, and I'm really excited to see what else they have in store. But just going off from this, like, it's a simple pose, but it just gives so much good presence of the figure. And like I said, the more I see this suit, the more it does put Hot Toys suit to shame, and it is a bit disappointing to see that, because again, Hot Toys have killed it for many years. In my opinion, they've slacked off with some stuff here and there, especially with their materials, and that's also a big reason why I've kind of left collecting Hot Toys, because their materials, for the most part, suck when it comes to superhero suits and leather material and rubber. But this is just on another level, and I'm seeing the cape. It's more HD, these photos, so the more I see this cape, the more it does lead me to believe that it is actually real leather. Just the way it shines, which is a bit weird saying that, but me looking at this and looking at a Hot Toys pleather jacket, you can tell a bit of a difference, and this does look like a real leather material. I didn't even see it. Something as simple as the straps have the white lining, and that's 100% accurate to the suit. I didn't even see that on the other photos, but I doubt Hot Toys have even gone that far with detailing. The belt looks really nice. Yeah, this is just an insanely good figure. You know, I can't... Yeah. So you can get the pose here of him basically escaping the... Well, not really escaping... Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah, it's the same grapnel gun. Escaping the police GCPD station. The suit proportions are a 10 out of 10, like I said in my other videos. The coloring is way better than the Hot Toys one. If anything that I would want updated with the Hot Toys one, there's technically two things. One, I would like a real leather cape. They done it with the Wolverine figure. They done it with the Terminator figures. Continue on that streak where you're gonna do real genuine materials now. It's very disappointing where Hot Toys are just picking and choosing what they want to give premium fabrics with. And if you're competing with this, that's real leather. Do real leather. And also the coloring of the suit. I think if anything, Hot Toys should change the coloring of their suit. That black, that really, really charcoal black is not accurate. It's accurate to Jim Lee's artwork, but again, Jim Lee's artwork was an artwork. It wasn't movie accurate. You know, that would actually be a cool custom to do, actually. Buy the Hot Toys one and paint the eyes white, and you got the Jim Lee promotional art. But again, you're not paying that big price for Jim Lee art inspired. You're paying for Robert Pattinson Batman, and in my opinion, the Hot Toys one's not accurate. So far, they may change, but so far, they haven't. And it's nice to see the other faceplates displayed, because they didn't really display it at all in the other photos. So it's nice that, again, they've listened to the constructive criticism, and now they've just thrown everything and said, oh, you want to argue about this? Here we go, we got it. This looks so much better than the Hot Toys one. Also, their teeth look much more vibrant and realistic. That's the same thing with their Pennywise. The Pennywise Hot Toys, which I still like, but it does look a bit cartoony with the teeth and the face. And another thing that I've said about Hot Toys is their paint apps are really, really nice, but Hot Toys, for the most part, don't do pour coloring nice or as good as what they probably should. Where this has got reds, it's got hints of blue, it's got obviously Caucasian skin color, so you guys have got a bit more paler skin, especially Robert Pattinson. And Hot Toys don't really do that. It's usually one color and that's it. Unless if it's like a Boba Fett that actually has what's supposed to have weathering, so they'll do it with that. But Hot Toys should probably do a bit more pore and skin color texturing a bit better now. So you got another pose here, dynamic one. He's holding two batarangs, which I guess it's a bit weird that they're doing that, but they're still showing you that you can pose the thing, so I'm still happy about that. The face is not, yeah, the cowl was much more accurate than the Hot Toys one. Like I said, the Hot Toys one almost looks a size too big, because if you look at the face plates, the faceplate looks almost too small for that cowl, so it looks more like a motorcycle helmet. And when you look at this, there's no real gaps in the jawline connected to the cowl. Where with the Hot Toys one, I think it does look a bit too oversized for the faceplate. But this one looks true to size. And again, this cape is again a massive standout compared to the Hot Toys one, because it does flare out exactly on the shoulder blade like the movie. And that's again a massive problem with Hot Toys, is especially with their Batman figures, their capes are terrible. The DX19 is probably their best one, but it's not accurate. It's a different texturing, it's a different color, it's inaccurate. While again, Queen are just knocking it out of the park so far with their prototypes. And if this is what we get, and this is their first figure, I think they're putting Hot Toys to shame when it comes to their capes. And again, if this is leather, which I'm assuming it is, it does look like real leather. They've knocked it out of the park. Okay, so this is something that was a bit missed in the other photos, where the Bruce Wayne wasn't as zoomed in. Again, they've done some artsy thing where they've done half of the head. Maybe they'll get more shots of the actual head sculpt later down the line. But even something like this, like the paws, the different coloring in the skin from here to here to the 5 o'clock shadow, the neck, paws and all that. The suit looks really, really nice. Apparently it's cashmere. The overcoat is cashmere. So again, that's a pretty premium quality. That's what you get on real coats. So that's insane that they're doing that in 1/6. Even the collar's really nice. Like, a lot of people have to futz around with it because the ties on some 1/6 scale figures aren't the best. Again, this looks really, really nice. The stitch work looks really good for its scale. The fabric detail here looks really nice. Again, I think they've just knocked it out of the park with this. The hand sculpts look really nice too. That's a bit of battle damage. Again, that's a nice touch. The coloring looks really nice too. That's another thing with Hot Toys. I think the Brandon Lee Crow, the DX11, and there was one more that Hot Toys really nailed. The Ichabod Crane Johnny Depp figure, the really old ones. I think they're the top 3 best Hot Toys hand sculpts. And it's weird because they're all old figures, and for the most part, Hot Toys haven't done pretty good with their texturing and hand sculpts. But this is pretty good. Like the veins, the different colorings again, the bruise, the cut. Oh, I didn't even notice that. That's a nice touch. I was questioning this as well, whether they'll do the cuffling. That's nice that they added that. Again, it adds that realism and accuracy. The buttons look really nice as well. It's weird that I'm talking about a 1/6 scale suit, but again, I've got to say, they've done pretty good. So this is a close-up of the back. Again, I'm not too sure. That looks like a Velcro piece that the cape will attach to. I'm okay with that, but I would say, as something of caution to collectors that will constantly take that on and off, you will probably kill the actual fabric mechanism part of it, where you might constantly taking it on and off will kill the fibers and it will no longer be Velcro, you know. So I will say be very picky if you're going to take the cape off or keep it on. For me, I'm going to put the cape on and never take it off, so this gimmick is fine for me. But again, if you're a person that poses every couple of weeks and likes to take stuff on and off, just be cautious with Velcro, if that is Velcro. Again, this is really nice too. Hot Toys missed this, I think, on the legs. The wiring, that's something that this Batman was pretty unique for. This was wiring, I'm pretty sure, that charged up the kind of taser, wrist blade taser that he had at the start. The stitching looks really, really nice and top notch. You got obviously a zipper material here and here, which I assume is probably maybe not functional, but it might be real zips that they've maybe stitched here to stop you from unzipping it. Or maybe it's real zips, who knows. This looks really nice too. This does look like a real metal zips, which again is an insane detail. The belt, automatically the belt looks 100 times better than the Hot Toys. Hot Toys are either going to give us 2 versions of this belt. One, it would be the soft plastic, or the other option would be that dog shit leather material, and this looks fabric. This looks like an actual real fabric belt, which again is absolutely smashed Hot Toys in my opinion. The pouches look real fabric stitched for the I think this was the torch that he uses at the end. It's got a clip there for the clamp of the belt. It's got a couple of buttons here, which I assume are die cast as well. I don't want to be that person that says that this is knocked Hot Toys out the park, because again, we don't have nothing in hand. But if we're talking just on prototype versus prototype, it's hard to say that this is not good. This is very, very good in my opinion. So, well, we've got to zoom in on the head sculpt here. A lot of people again wanted that, and they've given that to us now. this is the sculpted hair, and I would say I wouldn't even be disappointed if I got the sculpted hair, because this looks really, really nice for sculpted hair. The eyes again would be rolly eyes system, just like Hot Toys. It will be interesting to see how they do this though. Some people are saying that you have to physically touch the eyeball to move it. I don't think so, because if I remember seeing the Heath Ledger Joker figure, they kind of released a video of Viper and some of the guys behind the scenes just fiddling around with the figure, and there was a zoom up of the head sculpt and the eyes moved, but there was no one touching the eyeballs. So I assume under the neck, like a Prime 1 statue, there's maybe a switch that moves the eyes, because in that video they didn't show someone physically touch the eyes, or it's either at the back of the head, which will be a bit difficult for the rooted hair, but for the sculpted hair it'll probably be easier, because it might be just a clip that, you know, like a Hot Toys clips off the hair. But this looks really, really nice. Again, I don't think you would be disappointed to get the sculpted, but for me, I want to get the more premium version because I'm more of a premium collector, so that's just my personal choice. So this is the rooted hair here, so this is what I'm going to get. Might as well just move. Yep. Again, I don't see a problem with this. This is really, really nice. The texturing and all that's really good. It's granted it's dark lit, but they showed you the other picture just before with the LED lights full up to the face. So again, I can't complain about this. Another shot of the head sculpt here. Again, no real complaints at all. They've done pretty much a home run. The rooted hair, let me just go back to the sculpted. Yeah, I actually wouldn't be upset if I got the sculpted. I think the sculpted, if you got the sculpted version of this and maybe the rooted hair Bruce Wayne, that was originally what I wanted to do. I wanted to get this version, the sculpted hair, and just buy the premium Bruce Wayne, because you're not going to have this unmasked. Well, I'm not anyway. But I read the listing to the all-in pack and it says you get a head sculpt stand. So I'm just going to have the unmasked. I'm just going to have this on the head sculpt stand, and have obviously Batman fully decked out and Bruce Wayne next to it with the bat signal behind them both. So if it wasn't for that head sculpt stand in the listing that they said they'll throw in, they also said that with the Pennywise. If they didn't have that, I would have probably gone sculpted for the Batman and rooted with the Bruce Wayne, and then maybe buy the bat signals separate. But yeah, this is really, really nice. Like, these photos are pretty good. Yeah, the sculpted looks very serviceable in my opinion. So we've got to zoom in here. I want to see, do these look... I can't tell if these are die cast or if they're sculpted plastic. I'm not really fussed with this being not die cast or sculpted. I don't really care about this. He didn't really use it in the movie. I know what they are. They're the grappling attachments for the gun and for the wrist blades, but we didn't physically see him use it, so I'm not fussed if these can't detach or if they are sculpted plastic. This does, however, look plastic. Maybe. Or maybe it is leather. It kind of looks plastic because that the seam lines here where the stitching would be doesn't look real. I might have to see, maybe they got a better shot of that. I can't really see that properly. So again, another shot of the back here. Personally, I won't have him without the cape, but I would assume a couple of collectors might. So this is the holster, and that's 100% fabric. And I don't think the Hot Toys one was fabric. So again, this is another win in my opinion. The gun looks nice. Although he didn't take it out of the holster on screen. A couple of people said that he used this gun. This was the gun that blew up the glass at the end scene. It possibly is, because I think I did read the behind the scenes that this was labelled as sticky bomb gun, so it probably was the gun that was used for that scene. Again, the stitching on the legs there is really nice. I love that they've done the yellow hints there. And all the way up here. Real fastened belt there. Fabric obviously for the holster joint here and here. Again, I'm really liking this. So here's a close-up to the Bruce Wayne sculpted, which personally, I think if you were to get the Bruce Wayne, I would go for the rooted hair. Just because, well, I think rooted hair would be probably better for Queen. They're known for their rooted hair, and Viper's pretty much one of the best to do it, so I would get rooted if I was going to get the Bruce Wayne single pack. But this still does look serviceable. I think the lighting though kills the plastic look, and that's just with every figure that is in harsh lighting like this. I think the plastic gloss does kill the look, but again, that's plastic, so I can't really complain. So yeah, like I said before, this is a cashmere jacket, which is insane to think that they've downsized an actual real fabric that is on coats. But yeah, this looks really nice. Like, I've got behind me there the John Wick from Hot Toys, and that was really nice for a tailored suit. But this does look a bit more form-fitting, and it sits on the body more. The Hot Toys one has a problem where, especially the pants, it's all creased up and baggy. It's not too bad, but it does have a weird crease thing. And it is a bit of a weird material. While this does look like it sits way better, especially the pants here. So we've got a bit of an overhead view here. That's a nice shot of the cowl there. So we see a bit more detailing on the cowl, and again, this leather texturing is much more prominent here than the Hot Toys one. Again, this cape looks 100 times better than Hot Toys, and that generally does look like leather. Hot Toys pleather give off a different look. You know, look at their Vader figures, look at other Batman Begins figures, even the Batfleck. They give off a different sheen under lighting like this, and this does look like a thick leather piece. So I'm happy for this. It's nice that the chest piece has weathering and is the actual charcoal color like it should be. The Hot Toys one's probably a bit too glossy. Hopefully they change that, because I think that needs to be changed too. Hot Toys doesn't look like they have weathering on the shoulder blades like this as well. Down on the bicep, you've got the strap there with the yellowy gold clip. You got one of the cards there. I think that's the one I'm just a call away. And even though the belt is out of focus, like I said, I do think majority of this is actually real fabric. And maybe these capsules are plastic. But yeah, I really think they've knocked it out of the park with these pictures. Okay, this is nice. So this is the rooted hair. Again, in my opinion, I think the rooted hair is the best one for the Bruce Wayne. In my opinion, there's no real debate. I think this is the better sculpt, just because the rooted hair elevates the realness. So the tailoring would be exactly the same as the sculpted, obviously. Again, hugs the body really nice. The collars are really good standout too, because like I said, a lot of Hot Toys suited figures you have to play around, especially with the tie. Sometimes I also saw the Michael Keaton Bruce Wayne figure. sometimes the tie comes loose and it actually ends up being on top of the collar. So you have to tuck it under this part. That might have just been a packaging problem back then. And it is an old figure, so I'm not going to put it to today's standards. But again, Hot Toys don't make a lot of suited figures. And it's nice to see that Queen stepped in and done something like this. Because I think the Armory set is the last Bruce Wayne figure we got, right? I think it is. I don't think we got a Bruce Wayne figure. We didn't get a Ben Affleck one. So I think this is the most recent one, aside from the Armory set. So again, this is another shot in the light. Rooted hair, obviously. Yeah, this looks good. A lot of people said it looks off, but I don't think it does, because I've looked at that scene where he drives into the church, the steps, and he's holding the Corvette keys. This looks pretty dead on to what he was looking like. Like, he was kind of looking like this at that scene, especially when the paparazzi were trying to take photos of him and he wasn't going for it. So, I personally don't have a problem with this, but, you know, that's just my opinion, I guess. So, another close-up shot. So, I don't think people can really complain now that they haven't given close-up shots. They've pretty much done it in every shot here. And also, the unmasked head sculpt here is getting rolly eyes as well, which is something that Hot Toys should start doing, because let's take the DX19 for example, because it's a Batman figure. You get the masked cowl that has the rolly eyes, but the actual unmasked Christian Bale head sculpt doesn't have rolly eyes, and this one does. So I think Hot Toys should start doing rolly eyes for the unmasked sculpts now, just to at least try and compete with what InArt's doing here. So you get a close-up of the boots here, and this was interesting because on the listing it said Oxford leather style. So I'm wondering now if this is leather. I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure if this top part is leather. That would be really, really nice if it is. But I'm not fussed if it's sculpted, to be honest. The laces don't look real though. So I'm assuming because of that, it's just a sculpted plastic. Yeah, these laces aren't going through the loops. These are sculpted. But I'm not fussed either way with that. So these are some of the card accessories. Which again, some people were complaining, but it was in the movie, so I can't complain. Because you're getting what's in the movie. So you get what looks like swap out gauntlets that have the retractable grapnel gun. I think that's what this is. Maybe this is one big sculpt. And that's what the regular sculpts with the interchangeable wrists look like. Maybe this is one big peg magnet joint. That would be nice. I think that's a nice idea. Have this whole thing's connected and pop it out with a magnet. And in the listing, I didn't know what the hell this was because it was so far zoomed out. But yeah, it's the grapnel guns on the forearms. And this is the belt. Okay, this is a better picture of the belt. So this is fabric. Like I said, fabric here, fabric here. That's fabric. This looks fabric, possibly leather. Hopefully it's not pleather, because I'll be a bit disappointed if it is. So fabric clamp there. I still can't tell if this is plastic. I would rather this plastic than pleather. And I don't think Queen are going to do that. I don't think Queen is doing pleather at all. But yeah, this looks majority fabric. So that's nice. And this is basically the rest of the accessories. Or this is the belt broken down, actually. I also saw a couple of people say that you don't get the same amount of accessories as Hot Toys, which is a bit weird because I think you do. I mean, is this not what Hot Toys give out as well? You get the grapnel gun, you get the wrist grapnel gun, you get the sticky bomb, you get the belt accessories. You get pretty much the same stuff, so I don't know why people were saying Hot Toys gives you more. Aside from the base, which it's subjective if you like the base. I personally don't, but well, the Hot Toys base. I personally don't like the Hot Toys base, but I think that's the only big add-on you get with that version. I think the accessories here is pretty much the same. Maybe I have to look back at their listing, but from what I remember, it looks the same. So another zoom in of the pouch there. So it looks like you get 3 interchangeable batarangs. So you get 2 here, which is weird. They have said they're magnet. Oh, okay. Okay, so these ones are sculpted, but in a certain articulate way. You got this one that obviously is connected for the chest piece, which I assume is magnetized. I think they said it was. This one is kind of when he cut the police tape. And this one, funny enough, is actually not accurate to the movie, if I remember. Hot Toys done the same one, so it's not like this is just randomly out of nowhere. This was actually for promotional art. I think either Jim Lee's art or Lee Bermejal's art had Robert Pattinson's Batman hold the Batarang like this, but it wasn't in the movie, so that's interesting that both companies have done this. Okay, there we go. So it is detachable. And maybe I'm actually wrong. Maybe it does articulate. Maybe all of them do articulate. Yeah, maybe all of them do pop on that and move. That's interesting. Okay, so that's pretty much all of them. So I'll go back to... Where's that one of him grappling? It's right at the start. This is really nice too. I really like this pose. But overall, I can't really see a negative in this. Like I said, I think Queen have supplied now articulate photos, which I kind of said this as well. I think people jumped the gun way too quick, where they done the same thing with Pennywise, where they done a lot of static character poses, and then a couple of days after they done the same with this. So again, I think people jumped the gun a little bit too quick, but hopefully people are pleased like myself that we've actually got these updates. And yeah, I'm excited now for the long wait to get this now. But again, that's pretty much it for this video. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you like and sub, and I'll see you in the next one.